Consistency, a very common word we hear in training. Another thing we hear all the time is dogs are taught and trained. In my early days of training, one day that kind of stuck with me. Why do we always say taught and trained? Like, isn't that the same thing? So you taught the dog, you trained the dog. So then I had to think about myself. Well, if I want to learn something, if you're going to teach me something, versus I'm going through training. And then there's a third word, a very important word. And that word I'm going to read right here from the book, The Affection Connection. And that word is conditioned, a verb meaning to bring something to the desired state for use. So what that means is we want our dogs to be conditioned. So we teach, so the dog learns how to learn, and the dog has a formula for learning. The dog understands vocabulary. No, good dog. They understand the tone. Conditioning is creating the habits. So we teach so they learn how to learn. We train so that they understand a response. Sit, boom, right away, sit. That's why we don't repeat. Conditioning is creating the habits. Like my little guy here, he's just looking at me and he hears this. He is conditioned not to get on the furniture. He knows not to get on the furniture until he's invited. So if I call him, Frisk, we can't see you. So he won't come and hop up on the couch until I tell him, okay, come on, up, come on. There we go. Over here, that side. So once he's invited, he knows it's okay to come up. He's conditioned to that habit. So this is an important part of training, and this is why I always say, daily I say, we do not want to have a training time and a training place. We're not going to go outside and practice. I had someone recently who, her dog had been through a process and we were going through how to use the word throughout the day. And she kept saying to me, so I should practice 3 times a day for 20 minutes a day. I say, no, not really. Spend a little time teaching the dog how to respond to the words. So that in other words, if you send your dog to a trainer or someone works with your dog, you and someone together, the dog has to learn per person. So once the dog understands the words, like he knows up, he knows down, he knows stay, now they have to relearn those words from other people. If someone came in here that he didn't know and they told him to sit, he might look at them like, wait a minute, I don't know you. I'm not so sure. So that's where teaching and training. We teach the words, we train the dogs how to respond to the words. Now we have to condition the dog to respond to those words anytime, in any surrounding, over at the park, out in the yard, in the house, doesn't matter where we are. That is what's important. So if you go out for 20 minutes a day, 20 minutes at a time, if you have these little 20-minute sessions, the dog eventually will turn off to training. Pretty soon you start heading over to your little practice corner and the dog puts on the brake. Oh no, I don't want to go over there. I'm not going there. Because life is different. We have a different relationship there. In the house, I can do whatever I want. You throw the ball and I run all over the yard. But every time we go over to this corner, you start making me, drill positions. All of a sudden it's school. So we want to condition the dog to a response regardless of distraction or environment. So if I was sitting at the park and I wanted him to sit next to the bench, he would sit there and not hop up on the bench unless I invited him up there. That is what is important. The other is the voice you use. So no anger. We're not going to yell, right? We're not going to be energetic, because if you yell, if you sound angry, then you condition the dog to only listen to you when you're angry. That is the point. We want to condition the dog that I just say down in a nice calm voice and he just lays down. What a good baby you are. That's all. So I don't have to yell. If you always yell at the dog and then you say down in a regular voice, and the dog is like, he doesn't know what that means. The dog doesn't understand. How come you're not yelling? So the voice is very important, and repetition. What happens is the dog's teaching becomes the command. If you say something 3 times, if you always say down, down, down. So now when the dog hears down, then they go. So that becomes the routine. Now the dog is conditioned you. Now you're both conditioned to that's the command. It's down, down, down. You see? Or the dog's name or something like that. So what you do is what the dog responds to. What you do is what you train the dog to do. So those are the steps that are very important. That's why we don't have a training time and a training place. We use the work throughout the day in a process to condition good manners and good listening habits. So it's not forever. In the beginning, we keep the dog on the leash and we have him walk and sit next to the chair. This is how he learned when he was a little puppy. Now his 9th birthday is coming up. But for a few weeks, he was on the leash and we would heel here and sit, and he was not allowed on the couch. Then when I decided he was ready, I taught up. And then we had to teach down, sit, stay. We had to teach listening on the couch, because scent surface, the couch is a different environment. So your dog is taught, trained, and conditioned. That's where you have that well-mannered part of society that's really safe. That's where you have that dog that really pleases. Conditioned, a verb to bring to the desired state. The desired state is that we have a good listening relationship. Teach, so the dog knows how to learn, and then you can go on and teach all kinds of things. Train, so that you get the dog responding first time. You don't repeat commands. Condition good manners and good habits. If you haven't already, please subscribe, follow, and like this page so that I can keep doing this. Keep your questions coming in the comments, and of course feel free to reach out. I'm here to help you any way I can. The book Affection Connection is available on Amazon, paperback or ebook, and I hope it will be very helpful for you having the relationship you want with your furry companion. Bye for now.